Here we go. You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay!
This is the anthem, you're ready for some random shit from Rob. Now everybody stand up and lift your arms. Put your hands in the sky like you're pinching stars. Go piss on Mars. What? It's so random, it's all gravy. The podcast is Rob's, yeah, go crazy. Yup.
And all kind of shit like that.
That's what Rob says when he runs off track. Fun fact, tuck that in your brain. Fuck that nutsats, we act insane. In the fast lane, still smooth like butter. Rob, dude, you one cool ass brother.
Motherfucker.
You might hear that about every other word, but who's keeping count? The ramblings get so random, what's happening? I'm babbling so much you can't handle me. Chattering teeth sound like a battle axe bashing the beat. Don't laugh when I speak, cause really, we're just some idiots. I ain't talking about a little bit, I'm talking fully illiterate. Like little kids trapped in a grown man's body, acting a fool like Lindsay Lohan party. Like it's a party of life, we party all night. Blackout, that's how we party it right. Hit the Walmart cause we bored as shit. Instagram and upload the vid. look at Rob hanging out in the Walmart for no reason, just Instagramming. He got his phone out, walking around looking at himself like, hey, look at me, I'm walking through Walmart. It's so random, Rob. It's so random, but that's what we love. Random ramblings with Rob. Random ramblings.
Motherfucking.
Random
freaking motherfucking.
Random
freaking
ramblings. Random ramblings. Random ramblings. Blah blah blabbies. Blah blah blabbies. Blah blah blah.
What up, everybody? This is your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I appreciate you for giving my show a try. Hopefully you left a 5-star review, and if you left anything under 5 stars, you left me some constructive criticism. You at least gave me the opportunity to ignore your comments and say, kiss my ass. But have a guest with me for this edition of the show. This is a man that I had the opportunity to share a table and a microphone with and a cup of alcoholic beverages. This is a man who is from the place that I currently reside in, but now he's off into the wild yonders of the United States, making his name in the comedy scene and making people laugh, maybe pee a little, poop a little, depending on the raunchiness in his vernacular. The man that I have with me this evening is one Mr. Joe Moffett. How are you, sir?
What's the goddamn deal, my good man? How are you doing?
Salutations, good sir. I'm doing quite well.
Well, I see you've been blowing up out there in podcast land, man.
Man, I'm trying. I'm trying to put the work in. You put the work in.
You doing a damn good job of trying shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter has been riddled with all your advertisements of your smiling face with your glasses and your suit on and your tie all over these flyers and shit.
Most definitely. Shit, the more flyers, the better. Hell, that's what I do.
I never understood the power of the flyer until we tried to do that we put together like a little podcast fest back in, I forgot when the fuck that was, October, something like that.
Hell yeah.
And we were just kind of like word of mouth in it, you know, putting up some links here and there and everything. But when the Murder City podcast, that's another podcast from around here, they put out a fucking flyer saying that, hey, it's going to be here and we doing this. Motherfuckers start jumping the board and was like, oh man, why you didn't say nothing about this soon? I said, bitch, we've been talking about this for 3 months.
Oh yeah, that man, I tell you something. As far back as I can remember, flyers have been the end all, be all of advertising shit. Because I started passing out flyers when I was as a hustle at a damn barbershop out there in Mo City, and then I did it again for this little restaurant that was doing team parties and shit. Man, flyers out there work good than a mug. I ain't gonna bullshit. You got a good street team behind you. You can find some people for real.
That's probably one of the things I lack. Now, let me tell you something about me, Joe. I can bullshit with the best of them. I can sit here and talk with you, talk with anybody. You know, behind this microphone, I ain't scared to do shit. But you get me out there in the public, you get me out there in the wild, and goddamn, I got a pocket full of business cards and shit. And, you know, I want people to know about the show. I want people to know me. I want people to listen and everything. But I have a hard time walking up to a random motherfucker and be like, take this card. listen to my motherfucking show. But I could do that shit all on social media or whatever. But it's just like, I don't know, is that like that real time shit?
I see.
You know, being in front of somebody and be like, because the thing that, you know, I ain't scared of a motherfucker. It's just that damn, you know, I put myself out there, you know, I give them this card or whatever. And then I, you know, before I even get 3-4 steps away from them, they done balled that shit up and threw it in the trash or something. I was like, hey, motherfucker, I paid for that shit. You could at least gave it back.
That's the hardest part. Shit, that the one thing with my cars, I catch myself only putting it in the hands of people I think really gonna be able to do something with it. You know, if I'm on Facebook and all that shit, you know, that's free advertising, and
Yeah.
I don't really get caught up in all the foolishness and bullshit no more like I used to with the podcast and everything. You know, now I just stand back, and hell, I don't even go political no more. I don't never talk about politics unless it's like a very short joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm in a crowd of mostly, how can I say this and not be offensive, Caucasian individuals.
Yes,
you know,
I understand.
And out here in these backwoods parts that I perform in from time to time, you know, I might refer to them as a group of Trump supporters. I don't know these niggas. I don't, you know, but it looked like a lot of them in there from what I've seen on news reports. So it all balances out, and by the end of the set, and everybody usually has a good time, you know. With my brand of comedy, I don't really try to go to, you know, bring up shit you can see at home on a regular basis. I'm, you know, just trying to make you laugh for a minute, take you out of your arena, and then, you know, let you have a good time and shit.
No, because how has that been? Because I know when you were doing your podcast, I would listen to you, and you would like air out a lot of your frustrations and whatnot. It would, whether it be about you know, community outreach, politics, you know, whatever the flavor of the day it was that you were talking about. And now that you're focusing more on your comedy and whatnot, and you're not so much doing the podcast, it has the comedy replaced the podcast as where you vent your frustrations.
Well, I mean, it's less frustrations because you know, the podcast was a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I could rip on a mic and say whatever I want, do whatever I feel, whoever listen, great, you know, whoever, you know, don't. And, you know, when you're on that stage, it's a little different because my material, I'm more of a storyteller than I don't really do, you know, premise, punchline, all that. Yeah. I go more of I start with a punchline of some funny shit that's been happened before, and I kind of build my bullshit around it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my little formula of success. You know, so I've been staying away from the Trump topics and the political topics and, you know, community outreach and stuff. It's mostly been about, you know, family, personal things. You know, my current set is, I got parts where I talk about the kids, and I talk about, you know, personal issues, likes, dislikes, you know what I'm saying, blowjobs and whatever.
Yeah.
I start the set with that. Damn, that's my killer right there. And then we just go, you know. Mm-hmm. Just like, it's kind of like, right, it's a little bit more methodical, though, because when you have people, because, like, when you're on the mic in the studio by yourself, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
When you got them eyes staring back at you, you got to play the game. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. You know, you want to make a point, but the people ain't really there to hear a point. You know, when they go to listen to a podcast, they can pick, okay, I want to listen to book, I want to listen to comedy, I want to listen to something serious, I want to listen to, you know, the theater or whatever, if you will, the ones that's going the what's the one they say that's real popular now, the murder reenactments or shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so you can decide, but when they come to their comedy club, they want to hear some silly shit. Mm-hmm. Particularly with the crowds that I deal with. Most of the crowds that I deal with, they just want to hear some weird, outlandish, fucked up shit and enjoy it the best way they can.
Yeah. I mean, because, that's what comedy should be. It should be a release from all the other bullshit that you got getting away from, you know? And, you know... Yeah. Some of the people, they find a way to kind of parlay, you know, social issues into their comedy. Like, so I know Dave Chappelle is one of the ones that I would, he would go into a deep story about politics and social issues and whatnot. And then he'll just come out of it with like some bullshit on the end. And I'm just like, oh, you just kind of, you had me invested. Right. And then at the end, I was just like, oh, haha, it's comedy.
And see, I would usually, that was one of my biggest bases of the show. Was I was able to do that. I was able to do that build up. But sometimes my build ups be sometimes 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Just trying to get to that end result because I was going so much in, because I like going in detail and I like being in depth. I don't want to be up there and, get Kamala Harris and shit. Fuck around and get caught in 2 questions and answer them both at the same time and shit. It's still, it's them type of things I try to avoid, when you on that stage. And like I was saying, when you got them eyes pointing back at you, you want to see them enjoy themselves. So you got to throw you got to give them something to hit them right in the damn throat. And once you hit them in the throat and they get that throat laugh that make your back shit feel real raw in the back of your shit, that's when you get them,
Yeah.
And that's lately I've been able to produce a lot more of that, probably over the last year or so. Now it's damn near down to the science.
Yeah. Now, I think when I come to know of you, you were doing the podcast and everything, and you were talking about getting back into comedy and, traveling more outside of your area and doing different shows and whatnot. That had to been almost a year or so ago, right?
That was, I think I did the last real episode last May, because I wanted to do, my stepdaughter graduated and I told her I would do one more class of 2018. Mm-hmm. A lot of it too with the transition that I've made has been because of my kids. My son lives in Atlanta. I had my 2 daughters here, but when we had them here, they always had activities and that were very time consuming as well as financially consuming. Mm-hmm. So I really, the podcast was that outlet. But and as I told you before, we talked about this. The podcast was always that launch. Mm-hmm. The podcast was always, its main goal was to help me iron out material that I wasn't comfortable with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To let me express to the world what may be coming, to your city soon. And I talk a lot of shit when I'm on stage, but, don't think I can't roast your ass on other issues,
Yeah.
I still keep a very close eye on everything pro-justice. That I don't know what that dumb some bitch doing.
I don't know.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I keep a close eye on everything, but I'm kind of like Sting in the 90s. I watch in the rafters, and whenever I think I need to jump in and kick some shit off, I'll do it. I still got the mic something close to me. It ain't that far out of hand. Mm-hmm. If I ever feel the need to jump on, by all means, the SoundCloud page is still open.
Yeah.
Shit. So, I mean, if I ever, but I still haven't found anything that's made me really want to jump back on yet. I was working with some people a few months ago that was, really wanting to focus on having me do a lot with the podcast. But at that time, I was already making that transition. Yeah. And I think that's what happened when we did the show in Houston that time. Mm-hmm. That and that trip multiplied with the attention that I got from that after I got home. That began the transition to something else. And I was waiting on that. I've been waiting on that moment to say, okay, we needed to flip the switch. And even with some of the shows, not that I'm not proud of what I produced, but I was noticing that I was trying my hardest to pull away from major topics and major issues. And because it was damn near becoming every day, mm-hmm. It's so much shit going on that I ain't gonna lie, it wore on my ass a little bit. Yeah. Because I can see how when you're trying to be that voice and you're trying to uplift people, and you see, we all see the numbers and we see the statistics and shit, and whether it's 1 or 100, 1,000, 10,000, shit, whatever it is, you hope you're reaching somebody, but then to see, I do an episode 1 week about, cops shooting us, then goddamn, I got to do one about us shooting us. I'm like, goddamn, when does it end? Where's the goddamn end? What the fuck? It just became more journalism than comedy for me.
Yeah.
And that to me was taken away from its purpose. And the purpose, as I've always said, is to build the comedy, because the comedy is what's going to build the business, what's going to build the foundations, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But it all had to start with the Joe Moffett show.
Yeah. Speaking of Jussie,
man, I know you. I ain't know you was gonna, if you was gonna bring it up, but I damn sure was gonna bring it up.
Oh yeah, as of 4:45 p.m. I guess Atlanta time or whatever the fuck you got to
indicted for the stupidest shit, nigga. Look, I love attention.
You trying to be a martyr, man?
Huh?
He said you trying to be a martyr, dog.
But bruh, come on, man. You could have went to a bar in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he fucked up. If he'd have done that shit in Boston, I'd have believed it 1,000 times. You couldn't have told. That nigga could have told me every one of the Wahlbergs came down there and whooped his ass. I'd have believed that shit 50 goddamn times over you telling me 2 white people in Chicago at 2 a.m. fucking with niggas? I think not.
Yeah, right. You know what? Like, I got bits and pieces of the whole thing because, I mean, I'm not as in tune or whatever. But damn, I seen a clip of his interview after the fact, and I was like, that motherfucker lying. Straight up. He was just like,
I was welcome to watch it there, boy. I just said, fuck it, I didn't do it. But I did DVR it. I watched some bits and pieces of it. I was just like, to hear the story as it's come out compared to that interview, something wrong with that boy.
Yeah.
And I've said this. What have I said before, Rob? You've heard me say this before. Who the fuck does this nigga have around him?
Yeah. Probably nobody be doing shit like that.
Said, who the fuck is he running with, man? Because this is beyond stupid. You didn't kill, don't get me wrong. I understand what he was trying to do with his career. And yeah, I even noticed that it wasn't pulling out for him. Mm-hmm. But dude, you don't put yourself in a position to ruin everything thinking that negative attention, you ain't had enough. You got to have positive attention to get negative attention, because you can make the negative attention work for you. But your ass ain't got no attention. Mm-hmm. And then the little bit of attention that you get is good, but now the rest of the attention you asshole. I mean, he got niggas and gay people mad at him. He can't leave his house.
Yeah. It like, just in the grand scheme of things, just from the little tidbits that I know, like I said, I wasn't all into it or whatever. It kind of seemed like he was trying to big up the gay, the LGBT Elemental P platform or whatever, behind this shit, bring
that nigga was trying to big up him. I don't know if you watch Empire, but the whole first half of the season this year, they got one of them in a casket, and they ain't said which one it is. They still ain't said because this is not supposed to come out to the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Well, now he done all this shit. Apparently, everybody knows his ass is in the casket, because if they wasn't gonna kill his damn character off, they certainly gonna kill his character off now.
Yeah, like even the day of, or even the day after, I seen just clickbait articles talking about he's looking to be written off of Empire, and they hadn't even got all the facts yet. I was like, God damn, they moving pretty quick, huh?
Well, like I said, I don't know. I looking at it on the outside looking in, I wouldn't see why they would take him off. There's another character over there that they already killed off his real life wife and his character wife on the show. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't really know why this nigga is still there. However, you can't really understand what's going through the people's minds. You certainly can't understand what's going through the mind of a fool. And this was some shit that made him look like a damn fool doing this, because I'm good. When I first heard it happen, I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Where was he again? That was my initial reaction. Where was he again? Chicago. At 2 a.m. And it wasn't outside of a bar. It wasn't outside of, you sure he wasn't in Boston?
The key indicator, that I knew something was up was like, before I heard him speak, just knowing that, something happened to him, somebody beat him up. The first thing I ever seen about this whole situation was the police couldn't find any video evidence. Any. They said that, like, from what I read, they went over hundreds of hours of video and they couldn't find shit. I was like, yeah, this motherfucker lying. Something is up. All they find is these two big ass niggas walking around covered in blackface and shit. Yeah. Hoodies and shit. They even got these niggas at the store buying and shit. Oh my God. Don't you know to send other people? Don't you got a bitch that you can send in there to do that shit? Everybody got a random, they got crazy bitches driving around damn near killing motherfuckers out in Colorado. And you mean to tell me you couldn't find somebody else to go in there about a goddamn ski mask? Mm-hmm. Man, and just like, even think about the technology we have at our disposal right now. Regardless if they did pay somebody else right now, they probably would have, just thinking of the shit that we can do now, they probably would have been like, all right, it happened in this area. Let's look at surveillance in the 6 block radius. Zoom in on anybody and check any purchase records. You can't get away with shit nowadays. Yeah, check any purchase records for ski mask and whatever. Yeah. They had some shit out here in Oklahoma the other day talking about nobody knew how it happened, but then the neighbor came forward and had all the shit on his camera. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? On his personal home security camera. And that's what I'm saying. You can't, if you trying to get away with shit in broad daylight, you's a dumb motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I understand he tried to do the shit in the dark, but I mean, it's crazy some bitches trying to get away with shit in broad daylight. You's a bold motherfucker. Because your ass is gonna get caught. I don't give you. Somebody gonna see you. It's too many. This ain't like it was back in the day. You know, that no snitching shit is out the window. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing. Yeah, because like motherfuckers is broke. They want a goddamn award from the police. Yeah, motherfucker. The first thing that's gonna happen is camera gonna come out of somebody's pocket and be like, "Oh, look at this shit, World Star." Yeah. Like I see 3 young men walking down the street. Are they doing anything wrong? No, but I'm just waiting so I can give you a tip and get some cash. That's what these motherfuckers own. We live in that day and age now. No. Motherfuckers will snitch for a can of goddamn soup. We in a day and age to where people staging shit now for meme recognition and shit. I watched 3 videos the other day, from 2 different co-workers. It's like, yo, dog, look at this dude. He got shot up in this restaurant or whatever, man, because somebody slapped his girl ass. I was like, okay, let me see this video. So, all right, one, it's a stationary camera. And it's not a security camera. It's just a motherfucker holding the camera. So that's indicator 1 that this shit is fake. So you see old girl standing in front of the table. One guy come up off camera, smack on the ass. Another dude come from the left side off camera. They talk shit to each other a little bit. The dude that smacked the girl on the ass pushed the other guy. Then he kind of fade off of camera. He come back, pull out a gun. Shoot the dude turn around completely, then fall to the ground. All right, the cameraman didn't shake, he didn't flinch, he didn't do shit. That's indicator 1 that something is amiss. 2, the slide on the fucking gun. I mean, there was a flash, but the slide on the gun didn't move. So that's some After Effects shit. And 3, you didn't see no blood on the dude. You didn't see no holes. You just seen the motherfucker turn and fall to the ground. First of all, if a motherfucker shoots you in the front, like point blank to where he did in the video, he would have fell backwards. He wouldn't have turned around, took a step, then fell. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should work for CSI, SVU or some shit or whatever, but I done seen a lot of, I'm into computer shit, man. Like, I like to see like all these movies with all these special effects so I can sit there and point out all the flaws and shit. And I ain't saying that I'm a fucking perfectionist or a professional or whatever, but if you look at that stuff long enough, you can start to point out some fake shit.
I mean, granted, and that's what I'm saying. Though you can't get away with shit no more, man. Damn, if nowadays it's easier to be straight up real about some shit in these streets, and you could have better chance of figuring out a way to get shit passed to do some of the most crazy shit in the world compared to just being fake and going, if you're trying to get something done, if you want some attention, do some Kim Kardashian shit. Don't get the police involved. Get all the gay people up in uproar. Get all the black people up in uproar. You got all these folks, pissed off and mad. And the next thing you know, motherfuckers ready to beat up random MAGA voters and shit. And them crazy some bitches, they carrying moonshine and switchblades and goddamn buckshot rifles on they monkey asses all the damn time and shit. It's too much. It's already too volatile. I'm kind of glad it was a lie. Yeah. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because there's so much shit going on right now. I think we needed a laugh.
Yeah.
I think we all needed to get together in the street, get pissed off at each other right before everybody get ready to fight. Everybody get a text message say that nigga lying, and then we all laugh our asses off.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to what we were saying earlier about people different styles of comedy. They set you up with some serious shit, and at the end, you get a laugh.
Oh yeah, and I will say a lot of the comedians that I've been working with too. That's kind of I haven't come across that one that's really carried on major topics. Now, that could be because a lot of the people that I work with are new, as seasoned comedians, one, I'm gonna be honest with you, when you see shit on a Netflix special compared to seeing it live, it ain't the same shit. You might hear that shit laugh in an uproar, so on and so forth. That nigga had to rewrite that shit 37 times to get it right.
Yeah.
You feel me? So but with seasoned comedians, you can find people, they want to pay to see you. So they gonna come out and listen to whatever your ass got to say, whatever your ass got to do. As long as they get a little entertainment out of it, they more built on pure infatuation of being in the same room as your ass because you up to that celebrity. I don't really think Kevin Hart could get away with Dave Chappelle's brand or Chris Rock's brand of comedy.
Yeah.
Because he's done that for years too, I couldn't see Kevin Hart doing a nigga joke from, was that Bigger and Blacker? When you say P5 4-figure boy, I hate a nigga. Yeah. I couldn't see Kevin Hart doing that.
No. And then
I don't think he got the balls.
Yeah, then the climate wouldn't even allow for that or whatever. I mean, there's people that still do it or whatever, but from him.
It's people still doing it. Bruh. I was out there with Shango Forbes a couple of weeks ago at the Comedy Club in Tulsa. Man, that dude talked about so much outlandish, crazy shit. It kind of gave me a bit of a relief to see a professional comedian that's been in the game for 20 plus years, and he's still going in the crowds, not giving a damn what nobody think, not giving a damn what nobody worried about what he done said. He go out there and handle his business. If you like it, eat a dick, he getting paid anyway.
Yeah. No,
that right there was I don't think Dave Chappelle can do that.
Yeah.
Chris Rock can do that.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart can do that to an extent.
Yeah.
He still got to stay in that lane that Steve Harvey's punk ass was talking about. He pissed me off a couple weeks ago with that shit. When he jumped down Monique's ass. Oh, Did you hear about that?
I'm kind of on a Monique, diet right now. I seen them two got into it.
She was kind of in the right this time.
Okay, this time.
This time I know she had that little Netflix conflict and everything, and he was calling himself trying to help her out if you will. And the thing about it, though, is the advice he was giving her was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
Because the advice he was telling, you know, you got to stay in your lane and play the game and woo. And the whole time I'm sitting here thinking like, man, the fuck you talking about? You know, you talk about, we saw how some of these comedians come up. You know, your ass didn't play no game. You came up with Def Jam like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
you came up the same black route that all of the big names got, and just like her. And it blew my mind that he went there, because I'm like, this is comedy. There is no lane.
Yeah. What
fucking lane? Ain't no goddamn lane in comedy.
You know, just you saying that or whatever, that, you know, quote, kind of paraphrasing what he said or whatever. I mean, that to me is him speaking from a place of comfort. Because Steve Harvey is well paid. I mean, he do these pageants. He got like 3 or 4 TV shows, radio show, fucking books, and all kind of other shit like that. I mean, Monique is doing okay, but I don't think she's doing as well as Steve.
Monique's only doing okay because, once again, when she got that Oscar, she felt that she was supposed to get $20 million a movie. She felt that she was supposed to be up in this upper echelon above Dave Chappelle and above Steve Harvey and above D.L. Hughley and Chris Rock and all that. She thought all of these great roles was going to fall into her lap, and all this goodness was going to come. What she should have done was went and talked to Cuba Gooding Jr.'s ass.
Yeah.
She should have went and talked to Snow Dogg's boat trip ass nigga, man. Because he'd have been like, whoa, bitch, you need to take a step back. Wait. You know what I'm saying? Still work your way up. Yeah, you got a hit. This is just a hit. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it cracked me up today. Me and my wife was watching the news. They said that they was talking about all the money that's spent on the Oscars and everything. You know how much the damn trophy costs?
Enlighten me.
Like cash, $400. I'm like, you done spent $10,000 to walk your ass in a room with a bunch of motherfuckers wearing $20,000-$30,000 worth of shit, $100,000 cars, $100,000 budgets and movies and shit just to win a $400 trophy. Y'all some dumb motherfuckers. And sometimes I don't get out of bed for $400. Nigga, Joe, you're nominated for the Oscar. If it ain't all gold, fuck you. Gold plated. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I got rings with more damn, probably got more gold than that goddamn statue you got on it.
Yeah, damn.
Shit.
And think about that too. I mean, it's just a TV prop anyway, because like you can buy them. You can buy a replica, you know?
Fuck granted, but no. I mean, shit, you can probably buy a real one if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, still, because
find a motherfucker to make you one. Shit, that ain't hard to do. Jewelers make crazy shit all the time.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you get the notoriety and all this other bullshit, but like physically, that thing, I mean, what could you do?
But
with
do you though? Dude, look what notoriety you get once again. Cuba Gooding Jr. I'm just saying. I mean, that notoriety comes consequence. I mean, shit. That you know. Some people was already saying his award was a gimme any damn way, because for him to be able to win the same award with what his performance overall compared to Whoopi's award from Ghost. Oh shit, you that's oranges to goddamn mud. You can't put them two together. Shit, you can't put Whoopi in. Cuba can't touch Whoopi. In no way, shape, or form, ever. Shit, not many people can. Yeah. And Whoopi is one of the last ones that still go out there, unlike Steve Harvey, and don't give a fuck. That woman will go out and say whatever the hell she want and mean it. She was fucking Ted Danson with a whole blackface. That shit blew my mind, but the whole time I watched her, she didn't give a damn either way. She said he just a dumbass. Just look over it.
Yeah.
He's stupid. You know, he's a dumbass. Look over it.
All right.
And I like that.
Now, we was talking a little bit earlier about, you know, society as is and comedy with the stuff that's been going on in the past, like specifically Louis C.K. You know, he had his incident or whatever, and then then not too long ago, I guess he just started going around doing some shows and shit. And I believe the day he did his set or whatever, for whatever it was, motherfuckers was bashing it. And when I look at it, at a glance, I read people had the big, dispute about the umbrage with was nothing out of basic rudimentary comedy. He was just saying, the basis of it was like, why aren't young people like how we were back in the day? I mean, that's an argument that goes on, that's a bit subject or topic in comedy that's going to stand the test of time, because it's going to always be generations of different people, forever. Mm-hmm. So the basis of it is like, kids these days doing this and this and this and this. When I was that age, I was trying to do this, and this. I don't understand it. And people was like up in arms, about this bit. And I was like, calm down.
He was playing safe. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was playing safe. He was trying to play to the crowd. Mm-hmm. He was trying to get that reaction. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. and make people forget that, nigga, we ain't forgot you a dirty dick motherfucker. So he's a comedian. And there's comedians that don't know nothing else. Mm-hmm. There's entertainers. It's sad to me that some of these entertainers and these people, particularly us, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. We get to these higher points and we don't really try to put ourselves in different positions to where we can still succeed. I think some do it a little too late. Some do it to where, it works out for them to be able to do whatever they want for however long they want. That's the reason why a lot of rappers, some of the most biggest ones, if they ain't went and like start smoking crack or let a bitch drive them crazy, they usually try to put some money up and reading off that Puffy and Diddy code, if you will, to where like look at Chameleon now,
Yep.
He been doing, been out in Silicon Valley doing business.
Yep.
So on and so forth. I mean, I think anybody always need to have, when you get to that amount of money, mm-hmm. you have to manage it. And if you don't manage it to a point where it's going to make money for you, well then you going to, something, you fuck up and something happen, and next thing you know, you're going to CK yourself, I guess. Louis CK, in my personal opinion, he was not in my, top 100 comedians. He wasn't in my top 1,000 niggas I stand in a room and just talk shit with, to be totally fucking honest. And this was before all the controversy. He didn't really seem like my cup of tea, but right now, the whole thing with him and that whole situation is just, you gotta, I don't know. It's kind of be like if Bill Cosby got out today and tried to do a set tomorrow. Why, bruh? Not yet. Let things blow over for a minute, nigga. Damn. Yeah, and if you gonna do a club, don't go do one of the biggest goddamn clubs in New York. Bring your dumb ass out here to Oklahoma and do some comedy. Well, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. We gonna be shocked to see you. Hell, knowing half of these motherfuckers, you can do it under a different name. Ain't nobody gonna know your ass.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to
don't go walk on the.
Welcome to the stage, Krill Bosby.
This shit, we call it Boondocks. What you talking about? Club like this called Boondocks, and I didn't show up that stage a minute a night. They love me in there, man.
No, I'm saying there's gonna be Bill Cosby alias Krill Bosby.
Something shit. He oh God, that poor man ain't gonna die in prison.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure unless they got his ass, gonna have him strapped into some life supporters and shit, or some of that alien shit that they was doing. Luke Cage is true. I don't think his ass go. I don't see him making it too much longer. I hate to say that, but the niggas got a hard time right now. Whew.
Well, like what you were saying about music and everything, I just got off the phone with my nephew not too long ago. He doing music, and we were just talking about how music has changed from what we've known growing up to what it currently is now. And you was making some points about people investing wisely, getting to a certain point and, making these, decisions to make your money work for you and so on and so forth. Don't you feel like that should be the natural progression of, with anything or whatever, specifically music in this standpoint or whatever? So first album you come out with, I'm hungry. This is where I come from. This is me. This is what I had to go through to get to this point where I'm making this album, yada, yada, yada. Second album, be like, oh, I came from this, but I don't have to do that so much anymore. Now I got a little change. I can do this and this. Third album, fuck all that old shit. I'm here now, filet mignon, fancy cars, all this shit. Fourth album, I'm just here because, I've been living the lavish life for a little bit. I just thought I'd come back to the music. I've been doing other things, being an entrepreneur, this and that and that. That should be the natural progression of music. I mean, I've listened to, so many different artists or whatever, and that seems to be the format and should be the format. But now the way shit is, you got all these people getting fronted the clout up front with their record deals and everything. They talking about whatever the fuck they got right now, and I don't hear not a bit of struggle.
That started with big titles, folks. You got to that started with us.
Yeah.
Our generation started that. Unfortunately, we began that path of taking music away from listening to the Eric B. and Rakims and the KIS-1s, the Scarfaces, the Tupacs, and when Ice Cube was really, out there big in the street, a lot of that faded when we started talking about, money and cars and hoes and chains, and it stopped becoming about the art and started to become about what you can get from the art. And to be honest with you, that you see that progression in comedy, because in 5 years, you won't hear me doing the same jokes I'm doing. Shit, you won't probably hear me doing the same jokes I'm doing now in 6 months, because I'm having to stay up with the times and everything. So if you don't progress to go on, you gonna fail. But see, the thing with music now is, these boys get a $20 million contract. They done plumb forgot. They act like they done forgot about the shit they done went through. Mm-hmm. The first thing they want to talk about is where they are now. And to be honest with you, that's the reason why a lot of it is all mumbling, because the motherfuckers ain't got nothing to talk about. Mm-hmm. You tell me about a 20-year-old kid that's wanting to be a rapper. I'm thinking to myself, bro, you ain't been through enough yet. Yeah. And anything that you probably been through, is a good chance your ass can cause it on your own.
Yeah.
Back, the world ain't what it used to be. Mm-hmm. when we was growing up. These kids have 1,000 times more advantages than we ever could have imagined. They can take one of these fucking phones and literally start a revolution if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. I can't say it's hard for me to believe that a person struggles. Yeah, people still struggle. Don't get me wrong. But like I said before, I've always believed that how you pinpoint that struggle is how you gonna deliver your message. So if you've been a fuck up, the problem is we got a lot of fuck ups delivering messages. Mm-hmm. And be a lot of them, like that little boy 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
All these followers. All these blind ass followers of some shit that these media marketing people whipped up in somewhere with this little message boy. Ain't nobody seen, heard of his ass in the street. And now all of a sudden he's some big time gangster running with all these folks and whoop doing this and whoop woo and everything. And he Billy Badass. Miss me with that shit.
Okay, I got a couple. I got a couple points on that and some theories and whatnot, courtesy of the Whatever Man podcast. They kind of spoke on the subject. But before that, goddamn, what is it? Fucking, since we talking about the music as a whole and everything, because like I said, we was talking about this earlier. My 2 points of where the turn started to happen was with Lil Wayne and Soulja Boy. So you was talking about the big timers and everything or whatever, I didn't really think about that, and you are.
Yeah, right. You got to go back further than that. Master P,
Yeah.
Now, but Master P had substance though.
Yeah.
Master P would make, he'd make them say, but then, it'd be for the Bourbons and the Cadillacs. And he talked about the hood. And he talked about Houston and talked about New Orleans. And, and talked about home. Mm-hmm. And so did a lot of the rappers from New Orleans, but a lot of it was nice cars, big rings, big booty bitches. It all came down to the basis of why you're in it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the art, because the thing about it, though, them niggas had art. Lil Wayne could rap his ass off. Juvenile could rap his ass off. The big time, the Baby had them amazing damn beats and shit.
Yeah, Manny
so,
Fresh.
Manny Fresh, so, they were able to do and create good music. Now, shit, these corporate, and keep in mind, too, those boys is independent. The way this corporate engine is trying to do it now, they fucking it up, and ain't nobody falling for it.
So
ain't nobody falling for it.
So like my points of reference, and I know people that have been listening to me, I've been using this for a couple of times with different people on the show, and since we own it, I want to get your opinions. To me, I say Lil Wayne and Soulja Boy, because Lil Wayne, I mean, you was talking about it, Big Timers and all them, Cash Money, Young Money, all this bullshit. I've been listening to Wayne since he had a teeny weeny afro, and he did 500 degrees, disappeared for a little bit, did a little project that got scrapped, and then a different Lil Wayne emerged with the Carter. And I was like, who the fuck is this? This is not the Wayne that I know from, back in the day. And then, he started building momentum, putting all these mixtapes out and all this and that and this and that and this and that. And you couldn't hear shit if Lil Wayne wasn't in the conversation. And then
they did the same thing to Drake.
Yeah, then Lil Wayne started getting face tattoos, growing his hair out even more, changing the colors. Stop just being a rapper and more of a, a musical icon. Start doing rock music and skateboarding and doing all this other shit. So go up a little bit. Wayne just wanted to be more than a rapper. He just wanted to do something. He had a gimmick. He wanted to stand out and just be, a top performer, not just a rapper, just a performer. So he did shit to stand out. So people are emulating him in a sense, they're just being different, Right. Now everybody got face tattoos. Everybody got dreads. Everybody got colorful hair.
Nobody is original.
Yeah.
There is no originality anymore. I would be happy if one of these little music groups would come together and make some old shit like The Temptations. They probably wouldn't be able to find a motherfucker that could actually produce it. But if they could, and if it was possible, I doubt if it would sell though, because it don't have all of the or whatever that endless damn slow ass dragged out beat is that they doing now that's trying to make half of the children retarded as fuck. There is some goodness out there. You still got your J. Cole's and your Big Sean's and everything out there. There is still some truth in the light, but you can tell the difference from what's being manufactured to what's real.
Nah.
This little Yachty and all of these little niggas. I hate to say his name, because he did pass on, but he was one of the beginners of it. The Tenacion. He was one of the ones that him and this little 6ix9ine boy. And you see where they at now.
Yeah. No.
They got in the shit that they didn't have no business having, no business being a part of.
Yeah.
They got pulled into some shit and somebody saw they had 10 cents of damn talent, pulled them into a life that they asses clearly wasn't ready for, and now you see the end result.
Yeah. But, before we even get there, like my second point was Soulja Boy. He was one of the ones that did a lot of things independent, but he used the internet and the technology around him to his advantage. This is some other shit, Josephine.
Well, we all doing that, bro.
Yeah. But he was like one of the, I guess, the earlier pioneers at that time, I feel anyway, because we all know about the Electric Slide, fucking Josephine, Johnny, all the other New Orleans bounce music and everything.
You mean as far as being digital?
Yeah, digital. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He was one of the first real digital rap stars that came out from coming from SoundCloud or something like that background. And I think that's what he differs from this mass production of what's coming out now, because believe it or not, Soulja Boy was real.
Yeah.
He wasn't manufactured. You know what I'm saying? Soulja Boy was real, but you also kind of notice over the last few years what's been happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of got spoiled by his own success, you know, and then
not even just that though. If you really think about it, he's kind of taken a bit of a turn down simply because of the fact that there are some artists that, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that when artists don't want to play their game, they end up getting in some little blacklist or whatever, so on and so forth. I've heard of a lot of artists out of Houston that's had to deal with that. Some out of Louisiana as well, to where they want to stay so independent. They still want to do their craft, and then they get into this engine that is the corporate music express, you know. And we all seen the damn Temptation movie, you know. They want you to do things to become mainstream, if you will, and you know. I couldn't see a motherfucker telling Leonardo da Vinci, "Say, Leonardo, we see you can paint, but we also need you to write a song." You know what I'm saying? We need you to co-star in this movie with this other dude that's a half-ass actor that did a action movie 10 years ago, and we're gonna make y'all buddy cops, and y'all go take over crime and racists and rapists and shit. You know, that's the formula that they've been using over the last few years, and it started with Fresh Prince. You know, and all of them had them damn TV shows back in the day where they tried to put you with a low rate, they put you with an actor, and then you go out there and you be funny or you shoot people and shit like that. I don't understand why artists can't just continue being an artist and working the artistry that they're in. I don't have a problem with people advancing themselves and doing more for themselves, but at the end result for me is I think there's so many people that try to put their hands on that artist that they lose sight, you know what I'm saying, of what's important, which is the original art. And I think when you start losing that vision, that's when you start fucking up. Yeah.
Now, to what I was going to bring up, you know, courtesy of Whatever Man podcast, they're saying that, like, you know, how you was talking about how everything is manufactured, all these kids are getting all this money up front or whatever, and they not really necessarily living the life that they rap about, but the streets is watching. And you know, we talk about 6ix9ine and all the shit that he's been involved in, but what they were saying on their podcast was like, the streets is reaching out to them. He was like, hey man, we know you don't really do this thing, but we'll let you hang with us so you can get this cred and, you know, you can live that life. And that way, you know, they got their hands in his pockets, you know, giving him his clout while he in turn is funding their operations, and, you know, they're getting big off of him as well.
The whole time, your ass is getting in trouble for all of it because you are the ringleader. You are the beginning, the middle, and the end. And if you don't see, Michael Vick didn't flip. You can put Michael Vick and Tekashi 6ix9ine in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Both of them was the ringleaders of some shit. Michael Vick was the ringleader of some shit, but there's about a 50-50 chance that he was bossing his shit. He probably wasn't, you know, because he had cousins and underlings under him that he controlled. Tekashi, on the other hand, got shit talked to by a bunch of niggas that's been running this game for years. You know,
you pretty much got pimped.
Rappers and because there's little rappers and shit that's probably, when you hear about these little rappers that's just gone to the wind and just got their money that you ain't never heard of, but now they dead, but now they got a press release saying they dead. Don't you think that's a little peculiar that you hear a press release about a rapper you ain't never heard of?
Yeah.
Getting killed in them streets. Why?
I don't know, man.
It's just what you were saying, man. There it is. Because it don't make no sense. How the hell have nobody got a publicist?
Yeah.
Where the hell did nobody get a press release? God, I wish I could get a positive press release right now. Ooh-wee. Nigga, I ain't had a review in a newspaper in ages. I would love for that right now. But, it's going to be shocked the first time you hear it because who the hell am I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when the first time I hear about your ass is you done got shot or you done got killed, there it is. You got your money. We ain't even know about your ass yet. And they've been flooding the money with the streets with this money to these kids. And with little minuscule amounts of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even get me started on comedy. I'm plead the fifth.
Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hell yeah, babe. I had a dude tell me the other night, he said, man, he shocked me. I showed you I put that post about being a heavy hitter and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he shocked the shit out of me because he was telling us, talking about getting paid and everything and so on and so forth, Shane. And like I said, he been on Comic View, Def Jam, everything, MTV Cribs, all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we was just talking to the side for a minute, he was like, man, I see comedians that he was, me and another guy, BB, comedian BB, I'm sorry. And he was like, man, I see comedians that can't get half of the people in the room laugh, getting $800 a night. I'm like, nigga, let me know where. You know what I'm saying? There's a real unwritten rule in comedy, especially with black comedians, that, getting those opportunities is kind of reverse from what you see in music compared to what you see in comedy, because there's so many black comedians and there's tons of rap artists, don't get me wrong, but there's just the market is so saturated with both that when they decide to start cherry picking the ones they want, they're really looking for people that they can have some kind of control. And the difference with rap music compared to comedians is comedians can have a bit more control. With these rappers, as soon as they sign a contract, you know what I'm saying? A manager or a booker can't really lock you down as much as a production company or an entertainment firm, something like that, that can control what you do, control what you say. And because they didn't put $10 million in your ass, if you go out and make a point about something that's going to piss somebody off that might be an investor, well, then guess what? You done fucked up their money.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, at the end of the day, there's so much business involved in it. And half of the people that's running the business anyway don't know shit about you regardless. They only know your name from a damn stock sheet. How much money you making me at the end of the day? That is the scariest part of it all, And with rappers and with entertainers in general, they always got to worry about that. Dealing with promoters and dealing with these talent reps and dealing with, you try to get around with some good people the best that you can. Lord knows I have, and not all of them gonna work out to your best abilities. But I think what happens in some cases is some of these kids get caught up with this money, and that's the biggest difference is once that money becomes involved, particularly if you're getting it from somebody. If you go off on the stage and you make 50 racks, and you take all that shit home, that's all you. Can't nobody tell you to do that with your money, but compared to somebody putting $1 million behind you, then you're going to have a thumb on your ass. So in some ways, I can see and understand where Steve Harvey comes from when he says that you have to stay in that lane. My problem is, and what Monique was saying is, you have to make the decision as a person, is that lane more important than what I got to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one thing about these rappers is once they get that money, they lose half of that ability of what they're able to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig it. Man, it's been very enlightening and whatnot. But
me, nigga, we get together and talk some cash shit all day.
What I did want to ask you, I don't think we ever really talked about it whenever we was in person and whatnot. But how long you been doing comedy?
I first got on stage at Just Joking Comedy Club in 2001. Mm-hmm. And I did it a couple of times, and that's the reason why I was kind of mentioning what I was saying about these young rappers. Is it boggles my mind how many of them they are, because how the hell can you have something to say? What could you have been through at that point in your life to have something to discuss, or to, for that matter, be able to articulate yourself in a way to have something to discuss? You know, Tupac was in Digital Underground before he became Tupac.
Yeah. So
he was doing goofy shit, clowning around, wanting to hang around with the underground, having fun, having a good time, and learning and understanding and seeing. And then he was able to talk about his struggle and articulate that in a way that works. These kids ain't getting that opportunity now. They miss out on the biggest basis, which is learning. And for me, the second time I went on, I felt I had a subject, and I felt it was getting over, and it was funny. And I mean, I was making people laugh. So I had people in the street asking me for autographs, you know? So, I mean, in Houston, you know? So, I mean, that was a pretty fucking big deal for me, for little old me, you know? So, but I also knew and understood that this was an art. And I understood that this was an art that had to be crafted if it was going to be done right. Mm-hmm. This was one thing that I say I've put my life's work into. When I first did it, it was so good. I was like, I can do this, but it's got to be right. It's got to be seasoned just right. And I know some people gonna say, yeah, you know, I've had some people mention that long hiatus, but you have to also live life. You also have to go through experiences. And I went through experiences, you know, marriage, divorces, child support, you know, children, stepchildren, second marriages. You know, I've built some shit behind me that wasn't childhood related and wasn't youth related as far as my story, but actually have something that I can relate to with people that are going through shit and that's got kids and got older parents and having to deal with that transition and, like, you know, shit, I'm in an empty nest now, dog. You know, technically, I mean, that's I'm only 38 and we're empty nesters, you know, so that's crazy, you know, and to be able to talk about that and to go through those things is how I built my comedy. And I had to go through some stuff and to live life to have material to talk about, because once again, I'm not the type that's going to look at your news story. Yeah, I get on. Like I said, that's what the podcast was for. If I want to do something like that, I mean, the avenue is still available. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, and when it comes down to making people laugh, you know, whether it's on stage or dressed up in a goddamn tank top and red wings and a goddamn hearts on my head and an arrow with flowers and shit hanging off my chest, just and a tutu, it was all comedy and fun, you know. That's what I'm about. Because right now, I think that's where my transition came in, was that I got tired of talking about the problem and thought maybe, just maybe, being a little goofy and having fun and being happy would come to a better solution, you know, to help more people. And for me, it's been working out, you know. I'm just, you know, to be perfectly honest, I've been enjoying the hell out of myself, you know, meeting new people and having new opportunities. And now I'm getting some opportunities to travel, because I have a show in Oklahoma City Friday night. That'll be the first time I've been back there since September. And then I've got a showcase on March 15th in Tulsa. And then I have another one March 16th in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm looking to be in Houston in June, dog. So
I'm trying to get some
stages out there. So you already know. I'm gonna be trying to push in your direction and get you out there with me and shit. Because I'm gonna throw your ass on stage.
Oh shit!
And take some of that. I'm gonna throw your ass on stage. We're gonna shake some of that stage fright you got. Because fuck that. Yep. And I'll make you stand up there with flyers too. You gonna tell
stand
Joe
up there
to
with
pass out
flyers.
the whole time.
Man, I can see that shit, but yeah, man, y'all seen this shit? Here, pass that down. Yeah, you know, I was watching the news the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just pass that over there.
We'll fix that stage fright no time, my nigga. Trust me, shit. Because you go with Vincent, because you know you gonna have to get your ass out there soon. It's coming, dog. I can feel it. I just with the way you've been pushing your show, man, and like I said, I've been watching from the rafters, and I'm very, very proud to see the things that you've done with your merchandising and shit. Is real hype, but you gonna have to come out of that. You gonna have to come out of that studio, man.
Yeah.
Coming out of the studio was one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm telling you. When I left the studio and started hitting them people and shaking them hands and pushing them hands away because they nasty and shaking them little badass babies. Shut up, little niggas. Shit. It's fun out there, man. You have to come out. You have to hit that. When I come out there, I'm pulling your ass out the studio.
All right, I'm down.
For real.
I'm down.
We're gonna tear it up.
I'm down, dog. I'm down.
We'll hit the duck out for something. Shit, I already got some folks talking about some spots down there, so we'll be able to pull like maybe a comedy / podcast something situation. You know, you never know.
For sure.
You say some other podcasters out there, so shit, and I know I got some other comedians out there, so
it's all good, man. Now, before we start winding down and everything, from the time you started in 2001 all the way here, 2019. We spoke about it a little bit earlier, the way technology has moved forward and whatnot. How has technology aided you and kind of prevented you from doing things, currently?
Well, I mean, technology can't be a preventative. There's nothing about technology that should be able to stop you. I've rarely ran into any barriers with particularly like the worldwide, the internet or anything like that, or, to get my message out there. I think some people aren't ready to hear it as much. And I think, but that's, shit, you can get that same response standing your crazy ass on the street corner with a damn box and shit. You being one of them crazy motherfuckers walking around the bus stop with a sign, man. The end of the world is there. And shit. It's the same effect. It's the same fucking effect. They trying to pass a message, At the end of the day, it's a message, and how you choose to deliver it is what's going to get you the response of the people, And it's just, I felt, once again, the podcast was always a stepping stone. And it was more of a practice to where I could feel comfortable going out and being in a stage full of people, damn near sober. High in the motherfucker, but definitely not drunk. Blow it out of my goddamn mind and make these folks laugh and be able to look at somebody and see that, maybe that joke didn't get over to them, so I can poke just enough fun with them to where they start laughing and got to get up and go piss in the corner somewhere. That's the kind of shit that I want to do, And I think just with technology now, more than ever, it helps spread that message. It's just the problem is, I think if there's a problem with technology, it's the messages people choose to listen to.
Okay.
Because it's hard to see somebody suck. And I know that might sound a little cocky, but I've been in this game for a little bit now. I can say that it's hard to see somebody suck and succeed knowing you don't suck and you still push, but you still got to push, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you, me, everybody that's getting in this game, we trying to take food off somebody else's table that may have had a struggle to get it, that may have had it handed to them. But either way, you damn sure ain't going to take it to them. You can take it from them either, unless you got some pimp in your fluid, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Unless you up on some gangster shit, it ain't gonna come easy, my nigga. That's for sure.
Yeah. So all in all, I mean, it's good in aiding in your cause or whatever. But from the time that you started up until now, what's something that you can do now effortlessly with the technology available that you couldn't do in the beginning when you first started?
Just talk. That's really it. Being able to express that voice. You know, it's hard to get attention, and to have people want to pay attention to you is not easy. And so it becomes a little easier when you're able to put yourself around people that you're able to find more people that are in your area. And, you know, I'm probably following over 1,000 comedians now, and they're following me. You know, I'm getting more opportunities and more doors are opening because I'm putting myself in, you know, the right spot. If I post a hilarious post, who'd say somebody won't read it, read my page, go watch my videos, and then next thing you know, I got a gig. You know, I've been literally going off of that more than anything, you know, and it's been working pretty good so far. You know, YouTube can be your own fucking manager if you use it right.
Yeah. For sure.
Only difference is you ain't got to get a bitch 20%.
Yeah. Some of my own personal struggles, I kind of feel like as far as technology goes and whatnot, it's just I guess it would be time. I mean, now you can kind of schedule things and post it out, you know, with Facebook and everything. But I kind of feel like Facebook is not where I am all the time. Cause
right.
I love Instagram and, you know, I dig Twitter, but Twitter.
I let y'all boys have Twitter for a little bit. I just laid off Twitter since the show.
Yeah.
I my Twitter, but the show was so much of that account. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what the people wanted. And it's been I haven't really pushed on a transition because my Facebook has like blown up over the last few months for some weird reason. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I get all the fake accounts, the fake hoe accounts and shit. Man, I feel popular in the world. Like, I get fake posts and shit. I feel like a man, dog. Mm-hmm. I get her ass left. It's great. But no, foreign dudes sitting in a basement fucking with people. It's Twitter has always been good to me. You know, Instagram is starting to pick up a little bit, but there's something about that Facebook monster lately. That motherfucker, it got a hold of me and it ain't let go for some reason. Mm-hmm. Cause that is shit. I had to turn my notifications on shit just to start seeing some of the shit. Cause I'll jump on there and have 20, 30 notifications and miss so much shit. I'm like, God damn, you know, but it's a good thing. You know, people starting to give me that attention, and it's the comedy as far as like areas like this and even bigger cities. I mean, there's just the comedy outreach on Facebook on Twitter is so vast that, you know, when dealing with, you know, able to make the groups and the things like that in Facebook, that helps you coordinate more with getting people that you want and, you know, talking with a mass amount, you know, comedians, you know, and things like that to be able to get work and to find people to work with, you know, and that word of mouth, you know, that's the word of mouth on Facebook to me it has become just on the county level, mind you.
Yeah.
That the word of mouth has started to pay off more, about as much as the word of mouth of Twitter used to do for me for the podcast. Probably more. I'll actually can say it's a little bit more because it's shocking amount of notifications I get now. It's nuts.
Yeah. Well, shit. Yeah. I mean, it's a freaking job most of the time, man. It's like I find that technology now is kind of working against itself because, like, you have these third-party apps and everything that kind of make it easier for you if you have a show or something like that to promote your brand and whatnot. Like I can schedule tweets and I can tweet from multiple accounts and everything. But when you give somebody that power or whatever, and Twitter has been cracking down on this shit hard now, that damn right. You make room for all those scammers and all them people to con people and post a whole bunch of propaganda and hurtful content and shit. So Twitter been squeezing.
Well, see, and a lot of those apps that had those, they've shut down. A lot of those I used to use on Twitter, they shut down now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that started like 6 or 7 months ago. I started noticing a lot of them just started to fade away. Mm-hmm.
And like for me, who was using it for some legit shit, I mean, it was helping me out in the long run. Cause like I remember in the beginnings of this damn podcast, you couldn't pry me away from this motherfucking phone because I'm always tweeting, I'm always doing some shit or whatever, and that would take away from my personal life and get me in trouble with the wife. So, so the creation of these different apps that would help me do this shit, I could schedule like damn near a week or months advance of tweets and shit. I ain't got to worry about the motherfucker. I put my phone down and shit.
And now they're making your ass work.
For real. I got to find like some lesser known apps and shit that can't do as much as the bigger apps, but it still, kind of get the job done. And, it fucking sucks because, I mean, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch, you sons of bitches.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's kind of what way it is because you had more when you was doing the automated social media marketing. It became a curse because people was able to use it to put out mass amounts of any goddamn thing.
Yeah,
but I can't say I haven't noticed that on Facebook. I just noticed that, like I said, with the flyers and stuff that I put out, it's there a lot of times just to roll out a quick message. I mean, the message is always going to change, even though the flyer's still the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's certain little things, little tricks that you can get around that on Twitter. It's little things that you can do. You can flip a letter or take a letter off and they won't mess with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's little stuff that you can do to make it, run a little smoother. But it's just like I said with with that automated social media, I liked it but my message was, the show. Motherfuckers, trying to blow up the bathroom. I don't want to hear about that 37 times in an hour. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of, I get it. Cause I mean, they want to make it a more organic environment and everything, all these little trolls and bots floating around there and whatnot. But if it was fucking up my shit, man, it was fucking up my shit.
And that's Facebook shit. That Facebook is so just engulfed in that shit. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And Facebook is pretty it's surprising that they have about as many bots as Twitter. Mm-hmm. As much shit as they talk about watching that shit, but from what I can tell,
man, what's gonna make me upset? Because I mean, Instagram is my jam. I've been posting a lot lately, but Instagram is owned by Facebook. They bought them out a couple of years ago, and the rumor mill, the scuttlebutt is that they're gonna be integrating Facebook with Instagram or something like it or whatever. And I was like, no. I was like, please don't do that shit.
Hopefully by the end I'm paying one of my kids to run all that shit for me. I ain't gonna even worry about it.
Yeah.
See, you got to think about that. See, eventually you ain't see because man. See, we going into that upper level. You ain't gonna have to worry about that shit. So, man, we gonna start chasing this money
in the upper room.
Yeah, man. Shit, I'm ready to hit the upper room. I don't know about you. This broke shit is weighing on me. It's getting old.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I completely understand that.
I already got one that's about to graduate college. So, yeah. England's the money, because I'm going to have to start paying for that shit soon, and that ain't going to be fun.
Yep.
My wife's going to be mad if I got to start hooking again.
I mean, you was already practicing with your tutu and your wings and your halo.
No, that was for charity and for old people, you bastard. Be nice.
Hey, that's what hooking is for, charity and old people.
Then, I went to visit children. Oh, you Philistine, I can't believe you. But no, that shit was crazy though.
Yeah, but man,
we got caught on the security cam back. No, just one real quick. We got caught. We was going to do a delivery, and we pulled up to this business, and it was like a little bathroom, like Bath Planet or whatever, but it was like a little small office.
Yeah.
And for some reason or another, these niggas had the high school was out here choir visiting. So there's like 20 kids in here singing to like 4 people in this office. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to walk in and deliver this damn candygram and see all these kids singing. You see us on the security camera slowly backing away, trying not to interrupt the damn kids singing. And one of the kids turned around and saw us. His ass almost started laughing and messed up the singing and shit. And all I could see him was trying to explain to his teacher why he messed up. But man, it was a big old black dude dressed out here in a pink shirt and wings and shit. He was like, "Have you been drinking, Tommy?" "No, I ain't been drinking. I know what the hell." But then we went in there and, did a little bit and everything. So Tommy didn't look like a jackass. That would have been funny as a motherfucker. We decided not to go back in there. That would have been priceless.
Yeah. But man, I appreciate you giving me your time, catching up with me and whatnot, man. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media, what you got going on, what's coming up, and everything, man.
The spot this hat is on that Facebook at comedian Joe Moffett. Also just my regular Joe Moffett page. You can follow me there where I do regular posts, little comedy shit on a daily basis. Also, where I always post upcoming shows and whatever tours that might be coming up. We got some cities that we're gonna be hitting that I haven't hit yet. So we got some big things coming up over the next few months.
For sure. And as always, man, this door is always open for you. Come on in, fix you a plate, get your glass of Kool-Aid and whatnot.
Most definitely. I ain't even got to ask shit. I just walk in.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You at least got to knock because Mrs. B. Rob is the one with the gat.
Fine. I tell you what, I'll knock, but then I'm walking in.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna have a special. My knock gonna be like, "Hey, motherfucker, open the door with me." Bye. Hi.
There you go. Oh shit. And that was the homie Joe Moffett, Houstonian at heart, but out there in Oklahoma and parts all over doing his comedy thing. And he talking about he gonna bring me up on stage when he come down here and do a show and shit. I'm like, man. But honestly, before I even throw that idea up under the motherfucking bus, I have many people to come on the show to say, "Hey man, you ever thought about doing comedy?" Yada, 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 yada. Personally, I think I'm kind of funny. My wife don't think I'm funny at all. But, it has crossed my mind many a times, but it's a thing to where, Joe talked about, coming up with material and things like that. It's not a thing that, I'm not a fan of the process. I don't like to write shit down as evident of you listening to the show. I just say what comes to my mind and heart, and I kind of envisioned what me on a stage in a room full of people would be like. And it would just me be talking to the crowd. Cause that's what I would want to do. I would want to talk to motherfuckers, man. It's just like, I can just bring up life experiences that I've had, being a kid within the military and, past relationship shit or whatever. I mean, basis of a comedy act or whatever, but I would talk about it on a real level and the comedy within it. I mean, I guess that would be something interesting to talk about, but I just, if I'm in a room full of people, I want to interact with the people and not just sit there and just be talking about this and this and this. I want to point to the motherfucker in the front row and be like, "Hey, you, what you think of this?" and start a conversation with that guy in front of people or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Never say never, and if opportunities present itself to, get my name out there and do whatever, I mean, maybe I'll take it. You never know. You never know. Also, coming up here pretty soon, it is the 3rd annual Ask Miss B. Rob. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, every year on my birthday, since I've been doing this podcast, I've had my wife on, and I would ask you, the listener, to submit some questions specifically for her. You can ask her about anything, her life, my life, our life, anything you want, just random questions for her to answer. And, we'll be imbibing alcoholic beverages. Speaking of alcoholic beverages, I just bought the aviation gin that, Ryan Reynolds put his name on and whatnot. I haven't tasted it yet. I have some drink recommendations and whatnot, but, I'll probably try that later on today. And see what the haps is. I'll post about it. I'll let you know if it's delicious or not. I got some juice for the gin, so I can have some gin and juice. But anyway, so send those questions in. Use the hashtag WitTalk if you're using Twitter. If you can find a post on Instagram, use the hashtag WitTalk on Twitter, Instagram. And you can use the voicemail line 304-825-5762. I know I don't plug that enough on here, and that was a staple in the show to where I would ask you to just leave random voicemails. And y'all can still do that. Voicemail line still out there, 304-825-5762. And if you want to email your questions in, you can do so to mail@randomrobcast.com. Speaking of randomrobcast.com, I'm going to go ahead and wind this thing down. You can go to randomrobcast.com and find many different ways to support the show. Shout out to everybody that's been to the new merch store on randomrobcast.com, to where I have hats, shirts, t-shirts, Elemental P stickers, all kind of stuff. All the items you go there and you purchase, go to support this show. And I appreciate the people who have already supported by buying merchandise, and you can be a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com, search 3R show, and you can be a member for as little as $1 a month, monthly recurring fees and whatnot. And you get some cool incentives and whatnot. Shout out to Nick Lubbers and Brandon Mack and all those other people who support via Patreon and whatnot. And if you don't want to do a monthly recurring thing as far as payment wise, you can just straight up give me some cash, man. Drop a donation in my Cash App or the motherfucking PayPal. All those links are on randomrobcast.com. If you want to donate equipment to the show, I got an Amazon wish list on there. And if you purchase anything using my links on Amazon, you can help the 3R show get a little bit of kickback. You don't pay nothing extra, yada, yada, yada. And that's cool and all. You don't want to spend your hard-earned money. You just want to listen to the show as per normal. The free way that you can help support the show is doing what you're doing now. Listen. But also you can subscribe to, freaking, I got a YouTube shit out there. You can retweet this. You can share with a friend and make sure they listen. And reviews. Write some reviews. Daggone 5 stars are preferred, but if you have anything less than that, leave some feedback so I can kind of tailor the show a little bit, baby. Yeah. But that's it. I know I talked about ways you can support the show, but the way you can follow the show is on Twitter @It'sBRob. That's my personal account. That's ITSBROB. You can also follow this show on Twitter @3R Show. And you can follow me on Instagram, where I walk the hollowed halls of Walmart, vlogging, as the young people say. But all the info is on randomrobcast.com. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you listening. And have a nice day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Woo!